There was a time when focusing on one thing felt natural. You would sit down, begin, and stay with it. Not perfectly, not forever, but long enough to go somewhere meaningful. Now, it feels different. You start something, and within minutes, something pulls you away. A thought, a notification, a memory of something else you should be doing. And suddenly, the moment is gone. Your attention moves on before anything has the chance to deepen. It can feel frustrating. You want to focus. You intend to focus. But intention alone doesn't seem to hold it in place anymore. It's easy to assume this is a personal failure, a lack of discipline, a lack of willpower, a lack of effort. But that isn't what's happening. What's changed is the environment around your attention. Focus is not just a personal skill, it's a condition. It depends on what surrounds you. And today, you exist in an environment designed to fragment focus. Every device you use is built to present new options, new messages, new updates, new information. Each one offering something slightly more immediate than what you're currently doing. Your brain evolved to notice change. Change could mean opportunity or danger. So when something new appears, your attention shifts automatically. Not because you chose it, but because your brain is protecting you. This made sense when the world was quieter, when change was rare, when new information arrived slowly. But now, change is constant, and your attention never fully settles. Even when nothing interrupts you externally, something interrupts you internally. A thought, a reminder, a question. Your mind has learned to anticipate interruption, so it interrupts itself. Focus requires stability. It requires the feeling that nothing more important is about to appear. But when your brain expects the next input at any moment, it hesitates to go deep. It stays near the surface, ready to move, ready to respond, ready to switch. There's another cost to this. Every time you switch your attention, your brain must reset. It must remember where you were, what you were doing, what you were thinking. This reset takes energy, even if it only takes seconds. Repeated dozens of times, it becomes exhausting. Not dramatic exhaustion, but quiet exhaustion. The kind that leaves you feeling mentally worn down by the end of the day, even if you didn't do anything physically difficult. This is why shallow activity can feel so draining. It keeps your brain in a constant state of transition, never arriving, never settling, never completing the deeper cycle of attention. There's something important that happens when you stay with one thing long enough. Your brain shifts modes. At first, focus feels effortful. But after a period of sustained attention, it becomes easier, smoother, more automatic. This is when clarity emerges. This is when ideas connect. This is when time feels different. But this shift requires continuity. And continuity has become rare. Instead, most of your day is spent restarting attention, restarting tasks, restarting thoughts, living in fragments. Over time, your brain adapts to fragmentation. It stops expecting depth. It stops preparing for it. And deep focus begins to feel unfamiliar. even uncomfortable. You may notice this when you try to read something longer or work on something meaningful. There's a subtle resistance, not because the task is too difficult, but because your nervous system has grown accustomed to movement. Stillness feels unnatural, but this isn't permanent. Your brain remains adaptable. Just as it learned fragmentation, it can relearn continuity. Focus is not lost. It's dormant. It responds to the conditions you create. When you reduce inputs, attention stabilizes. When you protect time, attention deepens. When you remove the expectation of interruption, your brain relaxes into the present moment. This doesn't require dramatic change. It begins with small decisions, finishing something before starting something else, allowing moments without stimulation, resisting the impulse to check, not through force, but through awareness. Each time you stay with one thing slightly longer, you rebuild continuity. Each time you allow attention to settle, you strengthen its stability, and slowly, focus begins to feel natural again. Not forced, not strained, just steady. Your mind was built to go deep. It simply needs an environment where depth is possible. And when that environment returns, so does clarity, so does calm, so does the quiet satisfaction of being fully present in one thing at a time.